I really don't want to record myself looking so cute. But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining. I was just telling Angelyn, I totally dropped the ball and didn't get an email out to the team about the call today. There have been so many new stylists that have joined from the sign-up special that we've been so focused on new stylist training with all of them and finding out when their launch dates are and so forth that it slipped my mind. So, and then Angelyn and I were saying those new people have had all these new stylist trainings been thrown at them that I don't think they needed another call today. So anyways, but welcome you guys to the call this morning. It's funny, all of us are Dallas girls. I just realized that because I was thinking the weather. Oh no, Karen's not. Karen, I just forget. You'll always be a Dallas girl in my mind. So I have to be totally transparent, y'all. Today is my 20-year anniversary, and I've probably spent 2.5 hours this morning. I didn't tell you this, Angelyn, making a video.
Oh, was that why you were going through all your old pictures?
Yes.
Oh.
So I've been so distracted, but it has been so fun because I don't do that kind of stuff that often. And y'all, time passes fast.
It does. Happy anniversary. It's a big milestone.
Yeah, happy anniversary.
Do what?
So it's a big milestone.
Oh, thank you. My uncle yesterday was like, "Did you think you'd make 20 years?" I was like, "Well, yeah. Why else would you do it?" I mean, we all think we will, like, So, anyways, but I started thinking right before this call. I was like, okay, it's the beginning. I want to say the beginning of the month because it is. Like, we haven't even finished our full first week. Last day of the first week is today. I want it to be on everybody's radar. Don't forget, Rich Rewards Level 1. We've got one more week for that where you can get that $250 extra in product credit for yourself. So keep that on your radar. Did y'all see the Rich Reward Level 3, the designer ensemble? This is not a good picture. My printer did not print good, but really, really cute necklace and earrings. So, $2,500 to get that. Really pretty. I don't know what the name of it is, but really funky. So anyway, that's going to be our Rich Rewards Level 3. Don't forget Sparkle Boxes ship this week. Has anybody had a Sparkle Box person show their item yet? I've not seen anything. I think it's still probably, I wouldn't be surprised if some of that started arriving like today and tomorrow. So I'm excited about that to see what's, happening with that. I do want to remind us about that Sparkle Box because y'all, it was really fun to see the volume of our team show up with those Sparkle Box subscriptions. So don't forget that you've got that at your fingertips to share with your customers. I know that as a fashion director, or all of us, we don't get paid commission on the Sparkle Boxes. So I actually had somebody ask me recently, why would I want to sell them? Here's the benefit. That monthly reminder of Park Lane in somebody's mailbox is huge for your business. Number one, they're going to be talking about it. They're going to be showing Instagram photos. They're going to be texting you. They're going to be excited about it. That is a really great reminder every month about Park Lane. In addition, last month, now I haven't seen them do it yet, but I'm sure it's coming. Last month, they did an email to all the Sparkle Box subscribers, and maybe I missed it through all the new stylist stuff, but sharing with them what items that would match it within the line. And that's another follow-up that you can do with your Sparkle Box subscribers. Something that I think would be great is each one of them to call them after they've received it. Hey, I want to check on, do you love your Sparkle Box? There's some additional pieces. Did you see the email that will actually go with that? I would love to help you shop if you want some pieces to go with your Sparkle Box item. So those are really great ways to increase or to use your Sparkle Box subscribers as options or as generating additional volume. Hey, Crystal. Y'all, oh my God, I feel like we have a celebrity showing up. Crystal is showing up to our call. Crystal Sanchez is who makes all of our gorgeous images and beautiful emails. And so, Crystal, thank you for chiming in. Hey. Okay. The last thing, housekeeping-wise, I wanted to mention is convention. don't forget to talk to your stylist and yourself about attending. I'm sure Crystal will be there. Karen, I know, is going. Angelin's going, of course. Flo, I don't know if you've considered it. But you guys, it is a great opportunity for you to really boost this fire into your business. I think the quote I've heard is that those that attend convention the 6 months prior earn, I don't remember. Angelina, do you remember, like 4 times the amount that other people do?
I thought it was even more than that. I thought it was like 7 times or something.
It might be. It's a lot more because of what you learn, because of the energy. Yeah, those that show up go up. That's a cute little quote, Crystal. It's the energy that you receive. It's the motivation. It's the knowledge about the company. It's seeing that line in person. It's the training that you get. And you go home with goals. And you're like, I want to do this. I want to be walking across that stage. I want to be, earning whatever you want to earn. So I highly, highly suggest it. The registration is so reasonable. And let your stylist know. I know, Karen, you might even want to talk to Teresa if she might be interested in going with us. Fun little girls trip to Chicago. But the last night is a gala, and the dinner is included in our registration. And it's like a 5-course dinner. It is so nice. So they really take care of us. So I hope you'll consider going and talking to your people about going. Chicago. It'll be fun. The weather will be much better than in Dallas. So, okay. So we were talking this morning, Angelina and I, about what we wanted to talk about today. And I think one of the things that's really been on my radar the past few days as I've been doing new stylist training is how simple we can make it to create a list of people to reach out to book shows. Like, I feel like a lot of times we get to a point where we're like, okay, I kind of feel stuck, or I kind of feel, like I don't know where else to go. I kind of feel like I've asked everybody that I wanted to ask. Hey, Francine. And so what do you do? Like, how do you overcome that? What do you do to kind of get that process started again? And the process is no different, y'all, than when you are a new stylist. Like, it is the same process. That is one of the reasons why I love this business. It is so simple that anytime you want to restart, anytime you feel stuck, you do the same thing. And so we have this awesome, that Crystal created. So thank you, Crystal. This beautiful first steps guide that I don't care if you have been a stylist for 6 years or if you joined yesterday. This is such an awesome resource for all of us to read and just jumpstart yourself as if today were day one. Okay. In the beginning, it talks about, what's your why? Why did you join? Oh, there's Dottie. Hey, good morning, Dottie. Why did you join? What do you want to get out of this? And all of us have different reasons why we join. Maybe it's that you love fashion. Maybe it's that you want to join with your bestie. Y'all want to do something together. Maybe it's that you're like, you know what? My best friend joined. She's like, I want to be on those trips with you. There are lots of reasons. Maybe you want to pay off debt. I was looking at ACT prep courses. They're like $700. I was like, that's a why for me right now. So anyway, there are lots of reasons why people join this business. And what's important to recognize about what your why is that's what's going to get you up in the morning. That's what's going to get you setting those hours in your schedule to put the time into your business. That's what's going to get you continuing to do it when you reach out to a few and nobody responds, because it's going to happen, y'all. And so I think it's really critical to remember that. Now, Angeline's really good. She does a vision board every year. There's Morgan. Hey, Morgan. Good morning. She does a vision board every year, and she's very clear on what her why is. Okay, so it does get her up in the morning. Look how pretty she is already put together. She's been to a networking event this morning. All right. But that is what will help fuel you. Okay. So I mention that because the next step in knowing in what to do in booking shows is having that list. In this first steps guide, where is it? there is a page that is titled Who Do You Know? Okay. And it's what we call your Who Do You Know list. And one of the things I've been sharing with our newbies here is that this is a list that I consider it like a living, breathing document. It's something that you can add people to every day of your life. You know, maybe you go to the PTA meeting and you meet a new person. Maybe you have a show and you meet a new person. Maybe you have a new neighbor that moves in. Like, there are people that we are meeting constantly that can be added to our Who Do You Know list. And I point this out because if you notice, it says, who do you know? Not who do you love? Who loves me? Who do you think will say yes? You know, who likes fashion? Who have I talked to in the last 2 years? It doesn't say any of that. It just says, who do I know? Or who do you know? And that's important because I think a lot of times, you guys, when we are trying to decide who we want to reach out to, we do judge. You know, we make that decision based on all the things I just mentioned. If they love us, if we love them, if they love fashion, if we've talked to them in the last 2 years. I mean, just all the things that that we fill our heads with and that our negative voices say to us. And so I feel like it's really important to point out that it is a who do you know list, okay? And it is a great exercise to just brainstorm, brain dump, add people. Don't think twice about it. Go through your, Angela, and this is where I was wanting you to kind of, you know, chime in too. Go through your address book. Go through your Facebook page, you know. Go through your Christmas card list. Go through, if you've got children, like Morgan's on the golf team, Angeline could go through the golf directories of the past few years and look at golf parents that she knows. You know, maybe it's, you know, Lorena Lowe, her daughter's in dance. She could think about the dance moms that she has known. These may not be your besties, y'all, but what's interesting is your besties aren't who make up a business. That's who makes up a hobby. And so really, you want to really think deep and wide. Now, Angeline just posted something. Excuse me. She said, I keep my list on a spreadsheet with tabs. For example, a June tab. Angeline, explain that. I do the same thing. You taught me this, but explain what you mean.
I have 2 tabs for every month. One is kind of an idea brainstorm tab, and then one is like a working list. So June will have like an ideas list and then a working tab. And then once they, you know, brainstorm everybody or kind of move them, like, so let's say I talked to her in February and she's like, I want to do something this summer. I'll kind of throw her on that June ideas tab so that when I go into booking June, I have a list of everybody that I want to reach out to. And then I'd move her over to the working tab when I start doing my reach outs. And then, so she's a new column, and then every column is kind of my notes for when and how I've reached out to her. That's kind of how I keep track of it, just for my own sanity's sake. But what people don't fall through the cracks. That's that way.
Fall through the cracks. I mean, yesterday I was doing a new stylist training call, and I remembered somebody as I was doing the call, and I wrote down this yellow sticky note, salon girl. I'm like, because I forgot about her. I met her on Saturday at a pop-up. She ordered. I texted her. Didn't hear back. I've got to follow up. She needs to go on my main list. These things get lost. So
yes.
Whether
and I come after every trunk show, I come home and I write down on my working list, like, who did I talk to tonight that needs follow-up? Like, I never don't do that. And that way I don't really ever have to go back through like trunk show list and look for people and ideas, because they've either made it to my list or they've told me no.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, you know, it's a good way to keep yourself accountable.
Angeline is very systems based, and it works for her. You may be the girl that wants to use a spiral notebook. Like, it doesn't matter, you know. But what I love is that what Angeline said, she's got the idea list and then she has the working list. And I think sometimes we're afraid to write the person's name down because it's like, oh my God, now I have to do something with her. Who cares? Like, she could be your scary list. You know, she could be on your scary list, write her name down, because there's something about that visualization, that, actualization that helps move you forward in doing something with that person. So the other thing I want to point out about this list is that, and I know we've talked about this a lot, but I know there's a lot of new people, and it's so good to revisit it, is the acronym FRANK. Okay, FRANK. And so FRANK stands for friends, relatives, acquaintances. Here, I'm going to turn off. You're probably hearing my email ding. I wish we were still on the sign-up special, because then I'd be going and looking and going, who signed up? Because that's what was happening like last Thursday. So I lost my train of thought. Frank. Friends, relatives, acquaintances, FRA, neighbors, kids. Okay, so I'm going to go through each one. Friends. Okay. Friends, current friends. Like when I think of my current friends, there's a lot of different buckets. There's my Park Lane friends. There's my previous job friends. There's friends that were, my high school friends, college friends, like my current, like run around girls who I texted to have a drink tonight because it's my 20th anniversary. And, you've got lots of different groups of friends. So it's important to when you create these lists and when you think and add people, that you think about all these different categories. Okay. Relatives. I don't get real far with relatives. Maybe y'all do. My sisters all do this with me, so that's kind of hard. But you've got cousins, you've got aunts, uncles, moms, maybe stepmom. One of our new stylists, Valerie Greiger, her stepmom showed up to her launch. Her stepmom's doing a show for her. Her mom has already done a show for me because Valerie became a stylist after the fact. It could be sisters, it could be second cousins, whatever. Think about relatives. The other thing that's important to think about is, okay, relatives. When do you get together with relatives? Maybe it's for, you go to your Aunt Vicky's Christmas Eve, and she always has her couple of neighbors there. Oh, well, her neighbor Linda, she may want to host. Write Linda's name down. Like, think deep, okay? So acquaintances. Now, I love this one because we all have so many more than we realize. It could be the mom you stand out, or that you see at the bus stop. It could be acquaintances, like I mentioned earlier, the different activities that maybe your children are involved in, and you sit in the stands watching soccer with those few moms that aren't necessarily your friends, but you see each other. Maybe it's some of the women you do an exercise class with, that you see weekly. Maybe you do CrossFit. Maybe you do Orange Theory, whatever it is. Maybe it's the acquaintance that you see when you check in at Orange Theory, every week. What if you gave her an invitation to one of your shows? What if you gave her a lookbook and kind of warmed her up? What are other acquaintances? Like, I'm trying just to think of think about what your weekly life is like. Who do you run into in your weekly routine? For me, there's drill team moms. There are, oh gosh, I can't think, but you get the point. Acquaintances is a huge group. Okay, here's another one that I love, neighbors. Now, don't just think about where you live right now. Like, I'm going to use Karen as an example. Karen lives in Alabama right now. Okay, but before Alabama, Karen lived in Dallas, right? Or did y'all have an in-between? Yeah.
Granbury.
Okay, that's right. I remember when you moved to Granbury, yes, which is a suburb of Dallas. Okay, so those are hundreds of miles away from each other, but you could always do online shows with people like that. You can message your people that live in your old towns or whatever that you're doing this business. Have they ever checked it out? There's lots of things you can do with different neighbors, even if they're not close. For me, I've kind of always lived close. So I think about right now, I'm on Sarita Circle. Prior to that, I was on Yorkshire. Who were my neighbors? Okay, next door was Kara Warren. On the other side of her was Hughes, I can't even think of her first name, but who were my people that I kind of knew in my neighborhood? Prior to Yorkshire, it was Creeks Edge Parkway in Austin. I do go down and do shows in Austin. Those people need to be on a little list, like my Austin list. So when I go down, those are people I can reach out to. Prior to that, it was Sarita Circle again. We love this circle. But prior to that, it was Midnight Pass, who were my neighbors. Cynthia Johnson. Cynthia's been a hostess. So you see what I mean? You can really think about the different times. Even you could go back to like when you lived in an apartment outside of, college. I lived in an apartment before I got married, and who were my, people. Your brain will start thinking of different aspects of your life when you go through these different categories. That's my point in really kind of digging deep into it. The K is for kids. That could be friends with kids. Or if you have children, your children's friends, families. So I really wanted to spend a little bit of time on this because there are so many people, even when we think we get stuck, that are out there waiting for us to reach out to them. And Angeline brought up a good point this morning. We were communicating. Angeline, actually, maybe I'll have you share kind of how this list can go from your booking list, but it also is your list for sponsoring, and kind of how that can transition as you start to coach those people and so forth. Do you mind sharing?
Yeah, I think kind of those of us who came over from another company, we've had a little bit of a mind shift when it comes to this, because really now I don't make two separate lists about like who I would want to share the opportunity with and who I would want to book with. It's all the same. I put them all into the same funnel, and I try to book with everyone first, because it's so easy if you wanted to, if you have somebody who is kind of on your mind, like I would love for her to be on my team, when she becomes a hostess, then she is falling in love with jewelry. She experiences the process, and along the way, you're planting join seeds with her and sharing the opportunity with her, just like we do with every hostess. And then you can even flip her show, or at least continue that conversation. But once she's been through it, she's a lot more warm than if you just reached out to her and said, I've been thinking about you and we have this opportunity and I think it'd be great. Like, it's a harder sell. So I really think that it's just smarter now to just put everybody through the same funnel and try to do a show with them first. Don't you think?
Totally. It is so much easier to convince, if that's the right word, once they have gone through the process. They've, seen how simple it can be. They've fallen in love with the jewelry. They've made a wish list. They've seen the comments that their friends have made when their friends have gotten in front of it. Maybe as they've invited people and their friends are like, oh my God, I've never heard of that. Like, then all of a sudden they're like, oh my God, something new. Like, I'd love to be one of the first. Like, there's just so many things that can come from it for them hosting first. I think it's the best way to sponsor. Plus, then you flip them and you have a qualified stylist, on your team, which they feel great because they earn the commission from that show, the hostess rewards. So it's more that they're getting with their, kit cost to add to their display. So I love that. Are there any questions? I really just wanted to spend some time on that because I feel like we think sometimes that we've exhausted all resources. Does this help? Anybody want to share? Even you, Angeline, like having done this for so long, were there any categories that you're like, I kind of forgot about that? I do when I go through it. I really do. I'm like, I haven't thought about my past neighbors in quite some time. Who could I think about?
Yeah, sure. Or I think sometimes we also go through and we sort of forget to go into new things in life with those goggles on. So it's very easy to get involved with something new, or I don't know, starting a new school or joining a new group or church or whatever, and not think about, oh, she might be a connector or a hostess or something for my business too. And so we kind of have to go into new situations with those goggles on too.
So I'm going to get a little deep here for a second, and those that know me are not going to be surprised. But I am a huge believer in the universe. I'm a huge believer that, whether it's God, whatever, that you are put in certain situations because for a reason. And so I love to think of it like Angelin just said. Anytime somebody comes into my path, into my day, into my, world for whatever reason, there's a reason for that. And so to keep my ears open as to what is that reason? Like, is it related to Park Lane? Is it related to, helping one of my children with the struggle they may be having? Is it something related to health, but maybe like yesterday I just randomly went and met with this past hostess of mine. She has some ideas for me to do some events with her with apartment buildings. She's an apartment locator. And apartment buildings are always looking for events. And so she was like, Christy, if you could put together like a package, that you could offer some of these apartment buildings, they're always looking for stuff. She's like, I could put you in contact with people so that you could, offer this package and really build, your business into that area. And I was like, it's such a great idea. As we spent an hour talking though, found out all these other things about her. Like, I'm having issues with my cancer medication that I have to take. She has similar issues. It was like, okay, this is really cool. Like, I didn't expect that out of yesterday's meeting, but that's what I'm talking about. Like, there can be so many reasons why you are put in front of people. And if you are open, if your mind is open to listening to maybe you go to, I don't know. Okay, this morning I've already been to camp drop off at the church and, talked to a few of the moms. What if one of the moms said something like, oh my gosh, I've got a wedding to go to this weekend and I don't have my outfit ready yet. Like, I'm totally making this up, you guys. But, then I could go, oh, well, do you have your accessories? Like, I could totally help you, accessorize. Okay. Like, I didn't expect that this morning. So, I don't know if that's a silly example, but just be open to who does come into your world, because a lot of times they're being put, not a lot of times, they're always, I believe, being put into your world for a reason. And maybe you can help them. Maybe they can help you. Okay. Any other questions, comments? Anybody need help with anything? We're good? We're awesome? Okay, well, hopefully this will help you build a list this week. I'm a big believer. I'm going to show you guys my notebook. Every week it's 10 people. I follow I print off one of the sheets that we have in the Treasure Tribe and add 10 people to my list, fresh people that I'm reaching out to about booking shows. And so that is how you really can build consistency. And in this business, you reach out to 10 to book one show, and that's how you do it. So continue that list growing, reach out to 10 every week, and that is what will make you successful, help you be successful, help you achieve your goals, your dreams, you dream catchers. Okay, have a great day, guys. Thanks for joining. Bye.